Is it light enough, warm enough, everything back there, you guys? Okay. So welcome. This is the first of our 7-week series of the chakra classes. And sorry, I better turn that down a little bit. Like the kosha series that we just finished, the 5 classes of the koshas, this really is like the awareness of the chakras can really start you on that path of self-discovery, just like the koshas did, where we're looking at the more subtle parts of ourselves and how different energetic things can affect us. And so similar with the chakras, similar but different. So we're going to start seated. So take a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you, whatever you need to sit on, whether it's a cushion or a block, whatever you need so that you can be comfortable. And just let your eyes settle closed. And if for whatever reason sitting is just really uncomfortable, you can also lie down on your back with your knees bent. Just know that. And let your eyes close. And let your breath begin to settle. And find that belly breath. So relaxing the belly, releasing tension in the belly, so that the breath can flow and you can feel that expansion on the inhale and feel the belly draw in on the exhale. And begin to settle into this spot, this here and now, right now. So for our root chakra that we're speaking about today and working with in our asana practice and our meditation, this is really about our ability to feel rooted and to feel grounded. And with all that's going on in the world right now, we all end up with this kind of scattered uprising energy. And so rooting down and regrounding is really important for us to learn to do on a daily basis. So the root chakra is all about stability and solidity, unity and form, our physical form. It's about our basic survival needs, food, material things, our finances. So all of those things that all of us have been so affected in the last year that could really leave us ungrounded. And so the timing of today's class couldn't be better. So begin to deepen your breath. And we're going to begin using some imagery. So begin to bring your awareness to your 2 sit bones that you're sitting on right now if you're seated. And we're going to begin to imagine a square, your pubic bone, your tailbone, and your 2 sit bones being the points of that square. And I'm going to be referring to that part of the body, which is our root area, throughout the class. So if I say your square, you know the square I'm talking about. So as we sit connecting with breath, as you inhale, imagine your breath drawing down all the way to each sit bone, pubic bone, and your tailbone, creating that square. And then as you exhale, imagine that air traveling down into the earth. So we inhale, breath travels down all the way to the square. And then the exhale travels down into the earth. This is called apana vayu, and vayus are the winds of the body. Or this is the movement of prana. So continue with that visualization of inhaling all the way to the pelvis, to the sit bones, and exhaling into the earth. And then you can begin imagining exhaling all the way down through your legs, even though you're sitting cross-legged. Inhaling into the square. Exhaling into the earth and through your legs. To have one more breath here. And then let's set an intention for our practice of being grounded and rooted in this moment, the here and now. And then we're simply going to rock forward onto hands and knees. Move your props out of the way if you're sitting on props. And we're going to start, and we did this a few weeks ago, and I don't know if people on camera can see my feet, but with your toes curled under, and then sitting back on your heels to bring a stretch to your feet. So your feet are what you are rooted to the earth on every day. So let's give our feet a little bit of love and opening up those meridians. We also have chakras in our hands and in the soles of our feet, little minor chakras. So let's just take a moment to open those. And if you're like me and this is really painful on your toes, you can bring your hands down. If it's not, sit right back on your heels. I need a little support because my toes don't actually bend. Let's just take one more breath here, breathing down into the square of your sit bones, your tailbone, and your pubic bone. And exhaling down into the earth through your legs, through your feet, through your toes. And then come forward onto hands and knees, setting up for tabletop. Maybe I'll go this way. And you can keep your toes curled under here as well. So we're just going to move through cat-cow and maybe bring your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders. And as you inhale, see if you can imagine in this position, the breath traveling all the way down your torso to that square at the base. And then as you exhale, imagine that breath traveling down your legs and through your feet. Inhale, draw your heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, all the way down your legs and through your feet. Keep visualizing that apana vayu of the traveling of the breath to the base, to the root, and then exhaling it all the way down the legs, grounding you to the earth. Let's take one more breath like that, getting the spine moving. And then on the exhale, lifting the knees and slowly lifting up into downward facing dog. So take a couple breaths in your downward facing dog. Maybe turning your toes to the side, bringing a stretch into the side body. And turning to the other side. Bending one knee, bending the other. Maybe you even feel like you need a three-legged dog just to stretch out the hips a little bit. If that's what feels good for you, go ahead and do that. And then really begin bringing your awareness back to the breath again. So see if in this upside down shape, you can still imagine your breath traveling through your torso to your sit bones, to your pubic bone and tailbone. And then as you exhale, watch it with your mind's eye travel down your legs, your feet, and into the earth. Two more breaths like that. Inhaling all the way to the base of the pelvis, to that square, and exhaling down your legs into the feet, into the earth. Take one more breath here. And then as we exhale, walk your hands back to your feet, coming into a forward fold. So this is our first forward fold of the day. So you might need to bend your knees so that your belly can rest on your thighs, so that your torso is not just hanging in the air, so that you have somewhere to be grounded. Let your head drop. And then shift a little bit of weight into your right foot, even if your knees are bent, and walk your hands over to the left. So we're bringing a stretch into the right side body. And as you inhale, imagining the breath traveling down that right arm into your right sit bone and down your right leg into the earth. Come back to center. And let's walk over to the left side and shift a little weight into the left foot. Same thing here. As you inhale, imagine the breath traveling down that left arm, the left side of your torso into your left sit bone and all the way down your left leg into your left foot, into the earth. Come back to center. Let your head drop here. And then let's walk back into your downward facing dog. So walk your hands to the top of your mat. As we inhale, come forward to plank. Imagine that breath traveling all the way down to your sit bones, your pubic bone, and your tailbone. And as you exhale, feel that energy, that prana travel down your legs into the balls of your feet, into the earth. 2 more breaths like that, inhaling all the way to the pelvis. Keep your head lifted and in line with your spine. Exhale down your legs into your balls of your feet and into the earth. 1 more breath like this. Feel that heat building, that strength and stability. And then go ahead and drop your knees and let's lower down all the way down to the mat. And you can lower down knees, chin, chest, keeping the butt up as you lower down and then lengthen through. I think I've disappeared behind the plants. So we're going to, tonight is a trial. We're going to reach our hands behind us, intertwining your fingers above your bum. And as you inhale, lifting up in your cobra, imagine the breath traveling all the way to your sit bones. And as you exhale, imagine the breath traveling down your legs, lengthening your legs, reaching through your feet. 2 more breaths like this. And maybe your legs lengthen so much that they float up off the floor. And maybe your hands move away from your sit bones. Take 1 more breath here. And exhale, release down. Hands under your shoulder. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, press all the way back, downward facing dog, nice and slow. Take an inhale all the way to your base. Exhale down your legs. Take 1 more inhale. And as you exhale, step or walk to the top of your mat into your forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. And inhale, rise all the way up. Draw into your heart center. And let's take a moment in mountain pose. Close your eyes if you wish. Find your center. Find your ground. And then see if you can imagine that Apanavayu breath once again. Inhaling all the way down to the sit bones, the pubic bone, the tailbone. And then exhale all the way down into the earth through your feet. And as we stand in mountain pose, take a moment to think of an adjective of a mountain that comes to your mind. And try to bring that descriptive word into your pose. Maybe it's stability, maybe it's majesty, strength, whatever that is for you. Think of that word as you stand in your strong, stable, firm mountain pose. Two more breaths here. Just feeling into that mountain pose, feeling into your feet. And then Let's begin to flow. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let's step back with our right foot. We're going to add some lunges in here as we go. So starting with our high lunge, reaching the heart forward as we press the heel back. Find that Apanavayu, inhaling down to the base of your pelvis. And then as we exhale down your legs, move into reverse lunge. So pressing back, straightening that front leg, lifting those left toes. Staying here for one more breath as though you're feeling the roots being drawn down your leg into the earth, grounding you, rooting you. As we inhale, rock forward into our starting position, step back into plank pose. Take an inhale all the way down to the base of the pelvis. And as we exhale, imagine the breath traveling down your legs and see if you can lower down twice as slow. So nice, slow, lower. Maybe you pause in chaturanga. And then inhale into your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale all the way down into your feet. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can come into downward dog twice as slow. Using the belly and the strength of the core to get you back there. Let's float the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Whoops. And as you exhale, step it up between your hands. Again, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale down your legs into the earth. Take another inhale down to the pelvis. Exhale, reverse lunge. Send the breath, the energy down your legs into the earth. Lift those right toes. Staying here. Nice deep inhale all the way down to the square. And then exhale, rock forward into your lunge. Take another inhale here. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. Coming all the way up. And drawing into your heart center. I kind of feel like I'm yelling. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I yelling? Okay. I'm in this little echo chamber here. I'm like, am I yelling back there? Take a couple breaths in your mountain pose again, really grounding into the feet. Finding your stability, your roots, your connection here. One more breath here. And then inhale, reach up to the sky. And as we exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we're staying in our forward fold here, our Uttanasana. But bend your knees deeply, reach your hands behind your back, intertwine your fingers, and then press the thighs back and lift the knees as we move to a little bit straighter. Let your head drop here. Breathe all the way now up to your pelvis, since we're upside down, into that square. And exhale down both your legs. Take one more inhale. And this time, bend your knees deeply, bring your hands back down. Release your hands to the floor. And then lift the sit bones up to the sky once again. Bring your feet maybe a little bit wider than you normally would have them. And we're going to bend our right knee. So as you bend your right knee, a little more weight comes into that right foot. And just notice the sensation of the energy down your left leg as your right knee is bent. Let your head drop. Inhale down to the square of your pelvis. Exhale all the way down that left leg. Take one more breath here. And then slowly take 2 breaths to straighten that right leg or move it towards straighter. And notice the sensations in the left leg as you do this, coming back to center. Now let's bend the left leg. The left knee bends, and bring your awareness into that right leg. Inhale all the way down to the square of your pelvis. Exhale down that right leg into the earth. 2 more breaths like that. Noticing the sensations. 1 more breath. And then come back, taking 2 breaths to straighten or move towards straight on that left side, nice and slow. Notice the sensations in that right leg. 1 more breath in center. And then inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow down and step back with your right foot. We're going to pivot that right foot down for warrior 2. So pivot that foot down, rise up into your warrior 2. And we're going to bring that same Apanavayu into our warrior 2 position here. So imagine the breath traveling all the way down to that square at the base of your pelvis. And as you exhale, down both legs equally. Sometimes we forget about that back foot. That back foot is rooted and pressing down the back outer edge. Inhale down to the square. Exhale down your legs. Feel that strength and stability in your strong warrior pose. And then flip the front palm. We move into peaceful warrior. So as we reach up to the sky, this is very uplifting for our energy. So it's kind of like when there's a lot going on around us, can we still remain rooted? Can you inhale down to the square of your pelvis and exhale down into your legs and stay grounded and rooted, even though everything's drawing you up and out? It's like practice for the real world. Take 1 more breath. And the exhale, we're moving into side angle. So forearm comes to the knee, or fingertips to the floor. The back arm sweeps over and across. Again, we've got that arm above our head drawing us up and over, lengthening us, but also drawing the energy up. Can you remain without Apanavayu, inhaling to the square of your pelvis? Exhaling down into both feet, even your back foot. Take 1 more breath here. And then exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Turn onto your back toes. And then we're going to rotate to the long side of your mat. So we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale, lengthen your chest, and exhale, fold forward. Tiny micro bend in the back of your knees, feet rooted. Again, we're upside down. See if you can inhale to the base of your pelvis, even though you're upside down, and exhale down both legs. Take 1 more breath here in center. And then we're going to bring our right hand across to our left shin or ankle. We did this last week, actually. Sorry, I gotta move more plants. So palm over the front of your shin, and your left palm comes over top of it. So it's like a seal. And then elbows out to the side, turning your torso, your belly towards the left, any amount. And then keeping your left leg right where it is, bend your right knee slightly. Maybe as you exhale down into your legs, the belly twists a little bit more to the left. Take 1 more breath here. Slowly straighten or press that back, or the right, thigh back. Nice and slow. And then release to center. And let's go to the second side. So left hand reaches to the front of the right shin or ankle. Right hand stacks over top. We're turning our torso to that right leg. Elbows out to the side, bent out to the side. Inhale to the square, the base of your pelvis. Exhale down both legs. Bend the left knee, keep the right leg where it is. Maybe twisting the belly a little more to the right. Staying with that Apana Vayu, inhaling to the square of the pelvis, the base. Exhaling down your legs. Take one last breath. And then coming back to center. Rotate your toes to the top of your mat. So you're back in your lunge. And then step back to plank pose. So take a breath all the way down to the square of your pelvis and see if you can lower down twice as slow, all the way down. Either chaturanga for up dog or down to your mat for cobra. And inhale, rise up in your choice of back bend all the way down to your pelvis. Use your exhale to draw back twice as slow. Downward facing dog, down your legs. Take a breath or two. And here's a great place to come down to child's pose for a couple of breaths before we move to our second side. So as you come into child's pose, letting your forehead come down to the floor, just take a moment to feel this grounded sensation of forehead down, shins, arms down on the floor as we move closer to earth, and feel that grounded, supported sensation here. One more breath here in your child's pose. And then use your inhale to find your way up and back into downward facing dog once again. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it up between your hands and follow through with the left foot. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, bow all the way down. Inhale, rise up. And draw into your heart center. How are those hamstrings feeling? Take a couple breaths here in your mountain pose. We're going to move to second side. And while you're doing that, I have to move my obstacles here. Between light fixtures and plants, I'm just about knocking this stage out. All right, let's inhale, reach to the sky, lengthen up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back with your left foot coming into our lunge. We're pivoting that left heel down and rising warrior two, second side. And just check in and make sure that you're not leaning really far forward, that your shoulders are stacked right over your hips in your warrior two. Let's find that Apana Vayu again, inhaling down into the square of the pelvis, both sit bones. Exhaling down both legs and grounding both feet, rooting both feet down. Feeling that strength, that stability. We can face anything in our warrior two. One more breath, visualizing that Apana Vayu. And then let's move into our peaceful warrior. See if you can stay grounded here, even though the energy is drawing us up and out. Exhaling down both legs. 2 more breaths here like this. Inhaling to the base of the pelvis. Exhaling down both legs equally, even that back leg. 1 more inhale. Let the exhale take you into side angle. So either forearm to the knee or fingertips to the floor. Back arm sweeps over and towards the front of the room. So lengthening that left side body. Inhaling. Lengthen your arm, but inhale all the way to the base of your pelvis. Exhale down into both legs, even the back leg. Take 1 more breath. And then exhale, release both hands down. We're going to pivot our toes to the long side of your mat once again. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, fold all the way forward. You can walk your hands so that they're parallel with your feet if you are able to, if that's accessible to you. Inhale to the square of your pelvis. Exhale down both legs equally. And then bring your hands forward. Inhale, a halfway lift. And exhale, bend your knees deeply. Take another inhale here, lengthen. And then exhale twice as long. Drop your head and begin to lift the knees, lift the sit bones up to the sky, even though you're exhaling down your legs into your feet. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, bend the knees, lift halfway. Exhale twice as long into your feet, down your legs as you lift the sit bones up. One last time. Inhale, bend the knees, draw the breath to the square of the pelvis. Exhale, take twice as long to move back, lift the knees, lift the pelvis. Take 1 more breath here. And then inhale, lift halfway. Bring your hands to your to your hips. Press strong into both feet. Come all the way up. Beautiful. You can either hop your feet together or heel toe your feet together. And step to the top of your mat. Take a couple breaths in your mountain pose. We're going to take a little balance pose in tree pose so that you can really grow your roots. So bring a little more awareness into that left leg. And then bending the right knee. Externally rotating, find a spot for your foot. If you can bring it to your thigh, do so. Otherwise, find whatever spot is appropriate for you and press that standing leg thigh into your foot the same amount that you're pressing your foot into your leg. And then if you can bring hands to heart center and press palms together, do that too. Find a drishti, a spot to gaze. Inhale all the way down to the square of your pelvis. Exhale, root down into your standing foot. Let's have 3 more breaths here. And if you wish to reach up, grow your tree, lift that energy, but still stay grounded, exhaling all the way down into your standing leg foot. Take 1 more breath here. And then slowly find your way back into mountain pose. And release down. So mountain and tree are very much related because they're not only because there's trees on the mountain, but they're very strong and rooted. The base of a mountain is very wide and stable, and the base of a tree is rooted deep into the earth so that they can withstand the storm. So let's do that same on our second side. Let's root that right foot down, bend the left knee, externally rotate, and find wherever your foot is going to be, whether it's thigh, whether it's shin, or whether it's ankle. And when you're ready, press your hands together at heart center. Press your foot into your standing leg into your foot. See if you can find Apanavayu, inhaling to the base, to that square. Exhale, grow your roots down your standing leg into the earth. If you wish to grow your tree, do so. And see if you can still stay rooted as your energy lifts up to the sky above. One more breath. And then slowly finding your way back. Beautiful. Into your mountain pose. Okay. Let's slow down again into some more standing poses. Inhaling, reaching to the sky. Exhaling, we fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. The exhale, stepping back with your right foot. And then pivoting that right foot down. We're going to move into triangle pose. So if you have blocks, you can bring your hands to blocks. If you don't, I don't think anybody here is using blocks. You can bring your left hand to your shin and then roll the upper body open. And you can even take your hand and roll those left ribs down and the right ribs up. Reach your right arm up to the sky. So again, we're in a different shape here. Can you inhale all the way down your torso to the square of your pelvis, to both sit bones, to the pubic bone, to the tailbone? Can you exhale down both legs into the earth, both feet? And can you continue to do that as you inhale, reach your top arm overhead towards the front of the room, palm facing the floor? And again, this is bringing our energy up. Can you still exhale down both legs? Grounding your energy at the same time. Something else is trying to draw you up and out. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. Turn your toes to the long side of your mat. And then let's simply turn your right toes to the other end of your mat. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing facing the other direction. So those of you at home need to turn so you can see the camera, do that as well. So let's move into our triangle pose on our second side. Hand can be on your shin. Inhale your arm up. See if you can find that breath. Apanavayu. Inhaling down the torso to both sit bones, pubic bone, tailbone. Exhale down both legs, including that back leg, that back foot. Can you keep this grounded breath happening as you inhale? Reach the top arm to the front of the room or to maybe the back of the room now, but keep that right side body rolled up to the ceiling. Don't close down towards the earth. One more breath here, inhaling down to the square of your pelvis. Exhaling down both legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your toes to the long side of your mat. Turn your toes, your left toes to the top of your mat. Step the back foot in just a little bit and angle the back foot in a little bit. So it's like a 45-degree angle. And then you're going to take either, I'll give you an option. I'll turn around here. You either, if this is available to you without hurting your shoulders, reverse prayer, or just press your knuckles together. But whatever is happening behind your back, draw the shoulders back and the elbows more forward so that you're not doing this, so that we're still open here. And if you need to even bring your hands like this, if that's too much, pressing your knuckles together, do whatever works for you. So we're moving into pyramid pose here. So take an inhale, get long, inhaling all the way to the pelvis, exhale, holding forward, down both legs. Inhale all the way to the base. Exhale, strong into both legs. Draw that left hip back and the right hip forward. One more breath here. Staying strong in both legs, come all the way up on an inhale. Release your hands. Turn your toes to the long side of your mat. And then simply turn your toes to the other end of your mat. So again, same thing, second side, either reverse prayer or pressing your knuckles into one another. Draw your right hip back, your left hip forward. Take an inhale, lengthen up, draw the inhale all the way to the base of the pelvis. Exhale, fold forward over that leg. Inhale to the base. Exhale down both legs. Inhale one more time into both sit bones, pubic bone, tailbone. Exhale down both legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your toes to the long side of your mat. Turn your toes to the front of your mat. Bend your front knee, hands come down, step back, plank pose. You also have the option to take child's pose here or stay in down dog. Otherwise, come into plank. Inhale down to the pelvis. Exhale down both legs as you slower down, twice as slow. The inhale brings you to your back bend, all the way down to the pelvis as you inhale. The exhale, use your belly, coming back, downward facing dog, all the way down your legs, twice as slow. Take one more breath. And then we step to the top of our mat, step or walk. Bring your feet a little bit wide here. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sit down in chair pose. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. So same thing as before. We've got this upward rising energy pulling us up and out. Can you inhale down to the square of your pelvis? Draw your legs apart. Exhale down into both feet. Take an inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows. 2 more times like this. Inhale, reach up, but inhale to the base of the pelvis. Exhale, bend the elbows. Breath travels down the legs. Last one. Inhale, up. Exhale. Strong roots. Take an inhale and exhale, fold forward. Release, let it go. Yes. Now that I'm not sweating at the front of the room, I don't notice how hot it is. Take an inhale, halfway lift, face them. Exhale, bow down and rise up. Come into your mountain pose. If you guys aren't sweating from the movements of your practice, you're really sweating. Now you know how I feel every class. Take a couple breaths in your mountain pose. We're almost there, guys. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that strength and stability in your strong mountain, that strong foundation. Finding that smooth, even breath here. And now we're going to move into chair pose one more time, but we're going to bring our feet closer this time. I'm not going to make you hold chair. But inhale, reach up to the sky, draw the breath into the square of your pelvis. Exhale down both legs as you slowly begin to bend the knees, and we're going to keep on going. Bending the knees, bending the knees. You're bringing your root close to the earth. Keep reaching up as your root comes down to the earth. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Take one more breath. And then exhale. Release all the way down. Use your hands if you need to. Come down. Come into Dandasana. Just sit up nice and tall. I have to rearrange here because when I sit down, I don't think anybody at home can see what I'm doing. This might be better. Over here. Okay, so Dandasana. Feet are flexed, pointing up to the sky. And you can take the flesh of your thighs and draw it in and out. So this direction. So that your inner thighs are kind of moving down. Your toes are pointing up to the sky. And if you want, you can sit on a folded blanket here too to lift your hips up a little bit. So keeping this nice upright position, legs are active. We're going to bend the right knee. We're moving into heart to knee pose, or Janu Sirsasana. So it's kind of like tree pose. So the right foot's pressing into the thigh. The left foot is flexed just as though you were standing on it. If you need support under your knee, put a rolled up blanket, a sweater, block, whatever you might have under the knee. And then sitting up nice and tall, we're going to create the action. And you can also put something under that left knee too. So a rolled up sweater or towel or something under that knee. And even if you don't have something, tiny micro bend in that left knee. And then we're creating the action of drawing this leg, this sit bone back. So we're internally creating that action. So that leg is really active. Hands on either side, we just begin to fold forward. And you might be right here. This might be your end point. That's just fine. It's not how far you are. It's what's happening inside the body. And we want to keep the spine straight as though your spine's moving into your body so that we're not doing this. We don't want to be rounded. We want to draw the spine in. So that might mean you don't go as far. And don't worry about grabbing onto your foot. In fact, let's everybody put your hands, even if you can grab your foot, put your hands beside your shin and create the action of as though you're drawing that leg back rather than pulling it back. Actively, internally draw that whole leg, sit bone, tiny micro bend in the back of that knee. So it's like you're pressing your heel into the floor. And then inhale into the square of your pelvis. It's really easy to find it when we're sitting on it. Exhale down that left leg. 2 more breaths like that. Inhaling down into the square of the pelvis. We're still drawing that hip back into the socket. Exhale down that left leg. 1 more breath like this. And then slowly come back up. Beautiful. Extend that leg. That feel a little different when you're trying to draw that straight leg back than when we normally do, because it really does feel different for me. So hopefully it does for you too. Let's draw the left leg in. So again, right leg's flexed, tiny micro bend, or place something under that right knee. And even if you can grab your foot, let's just place the hands beside so we can't help with our hands. Take an inhale, exhale, draw that leg back, even though you're exhaling energetically the breath down that whole leg into the foot. And remember, we're trying to draw the spine into the body rather than rounding the spine out. And even though we've slowed down, try to stay connected to that ujjayi breath. Keep drawing that right leg back into the socket. The sit bone draws back. We're inhaling to the square of the pelvis. We're exhaling down the leg. One more breath here. And slowly coming upright. Releasing both legs out in front. Maybe you want to shake that out a little bit. And then coming into Paschimottanasana, sit up nice and tall and straight, nice tall straight spine. Feet are still flexed. And same thing, the spine is drawing into the back and we're just folding over the pelvis. Doesn't matter how far you get, you might be right here. That's okay. Close your eyes so you can't tell how far you are and just move a sensation. And keep drawing both hips, both sit bones back. So it's like energetically, it's almost like your abdominals are creating that action of drawing back as your spine moves forward. And if you still have tight hamstrings after tonight, I can't help you. One more breath here. And then slowly make your way back up. Bend your knees. And we're going to lie back down onto the floor with knees bent, soles of your feet on the floor. I'm going to stay seated up so that everybody can hear me. But you're preparing for bridge pose. So feet are hip width apart, ankles roughly under your knees. Lindsay, you can bring your feet in just a little bit. Your hips are not that wide. All right, hands at your sides. Take a couple breaths here. Just notice what your body's feeling. Notice sensations. And now bring that Apanavayu back into your awareness, inhaling all the way to the square of your pelvis. Exhaling down both legs. See if you can keep that happening. As you inhale down to the square of your pelvis, lift the pelvis up into the sky. Bridge pose. Exhale down both strong legs. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. You can bring your hands underneath you to intertwine your fingers if you wish, or keep your arms grounded on the floor beside you. See if you can imagine that breath inhaling to the square of your pelvis, exhaling down both legs. And as you inhale, you might even begin to feel that mula bandha, that action of the perineum as you inhale, gently softening away from you. And as you exhale down your legs, you might feel it gently draw up in tandem with your diaphragm. One more breath in your bridge pose. And as you exhale down both legs, slowly release your pelvis down. Beautiful. Once your pelvis touches down, just pause here. Notice sensations. Notice your energy. Notice that feeling of groundedness. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Hold on to your right knee. Release your left leg straight down onto the mat. Apanasana. Inhale down to the square of your pelvis. Exhale down both legs. Let's switch legs. Draw your left knee in. Release the right leg straight down onto the mat. Second side. Inhale all the way to the square of your pelvis. Exhale down both legs to your feet. Draw both knees into your chest once again. Rock from side to side if you wish. Feel that sensation of the solid surface beneath you on your back body. And now release your legs, but keep your shins parallel to the floor. Reach your arms straight out to the side. On the floor, we're moving into a twist. If this is too much on your low back, you can bring your feet back to the floor. Otherwise, keep your shins lifted and exhale slowly over to the right. Let your head turn left. Let everything begin to unravel here. Use your next inhale to slowly come back to center. And your next exhale over to the other side. Let's do one more time to each side. So inhaling back to center. Exhale your knees over to the right. And on your next inhale, imagine lengthening down your spine all the way down to your sit bones. And exhale out both legs. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the second side for the last time. And this next breath, our last time upon Avayu, inhale, lengthen the spine all the way down to your sit bones. Exhale down both legs. Inhale back to center. And maybe for a minute, if you feel like you need happy baby before you settle into Shavasana, you can move into that. You might just be ready for Shavasana, and that might mean socks, sweaters, blankets, bolsters, whatever you need to be comfortable. And also for those of you in the room here, how are we for heat? I feel like I'm in this bubble where I'm in a different climate zone. It's good. How about Lindsay and Marilyn and Mary? Not Lindsay, Lexia, sorry. How are you guys back there? Is it cold? No? No? Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, so take your time getting nice and warm and cozy. You guys worked hard, and those of you in here, I know you sweated hard. Not necessarily from your poses, but from the heat that was going on in here. This might not be a good idea having me up on stage because I have no idea what the heat's doing down there. Good, I'm glad Ben spoke up. Somebody might have passed out back there. So go ahead and lie down in your Shavasana once you've got all your clothes layered on. And as you settle, lengthen both your legs. Let your arms come away from your sides. Palms facing up. And now, in this lying down position, envision your breath traveling down to your sit bones, your pubic bone, your tailbone. And exhale, lengthening both legs long on your mat. And now as you inhale, envision a dark red liquid moving down into your pelvis, into the square of your pelvis, the base. And as you exhale, imagining that beautiful red liquid traveling down both your legs. Inhale, imagine it filling your entire body with this warm, rich, red liquid, warming you, nourishing you, allowing you to feel supported and to let go in your Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bringing the awareness back into your physical body. Beginning to let that breath bring gentle movements into your fingers, into your toes, into your wrists and ankles. Eventually bending both knees, grounding the soles of your feet down onto the floor, pausing here. Feel the weight of your pelvis resting on that solid surface. And when you're ready, draw your knees to your chest, roll to your right, and come into fetal position. Take a moment there, letting yourself transition. And slowly pressing yourself up to a seat for our short meditation. And you might sit on a cushion, a folded blanket, a block, whatever. Those of you at home, it might be a chair. Whatever works for your body right now in this moment. And take a moment to come into your body once again with eyes closed. Bring your awareness back into your breath. Bring awareness back into your sit bones, your tailbone, your pubic bone, that square, that red square. Allow yourself to feel rooted. And then begin to imagine two currents of energy, like highways on either side of your spine. One begins in the earth and rises up towards the crown of your head and into spirit. The current of liberation. The other moves downward. It begins in spirit and descends down into matter. This is the current of manifestation. Think of these two directions of traffic up and down your spine as though they are highways or freeways. Your chakras are the cities along the highways. Sometimes we are rising up to go out of our bodies into consciousness, which has a wider and wider expanse. Other times we are bringing consciousness down inside ourselves through our chakras into the earth, where we can manifest our dreams and visions. Now pull your focus to your center and down to the base of your spine, to the base of your sit bones, your pubic bone, and your tailbone, Muladhara, our root chakra. Imagine roots sprouting down, pushing down through layers of earth, penetrating the soft, moist earth, finding a quiet place away from the world, finding a still place. These roots holding you firm and steady, drawing nourishment from the earth, anchoring your visions to manifest your dreams. Empowering, embodying, and grounding you in the here and the now. Let your roots take what you need. And then say these words to yourself. I am here. I have a right to be here as I am. The earth supports me. Take a moment to let those words settle within you and ground you. And then bring your hands to your heart center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale out your mouth. And we'll inhale to Om 3 times. Om. Let your eyes flutter open. Come back into the room. Namaste. 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 Namaste.